What's up guys, Dan aka Dan Munster here, and we're going to be giving you a first look and our impressions on the iPad Smart Case. And I have got my iPad 2 here to show you my impressions of it when I can put it on there. So first of all, we're going to give you a tour of the device as standard. So as you can see on the front, it does say the iPad Smart Case, and on the back it gives you a quick look on what it does look like. You've got the Smart Case, and if we zoom in on the right in here, if it does so correctly, it said the Smart Case is made with polythene and is variant and vibrant. It's basically just it's nice colours. We got the blue colour out of choice because I've got a red, my brother's got a black case, and we've both got the leather one, so we thought we may as well go for the polythene one. Just looking at the back of the case now, it just says the iPad Smart Case is a variety of vibrant colours and features a display clean in microfiber lining. And it's got that in many different languages. It says wake your iPad and put it to sleep. Basically it's just like the old Smart Case, but it's got a back cover to it, aka the one I've currently got on my iPad 2. So we're going to get straight into the case, set aside the iPad for the moment, we're going to get straight into it and see what it's look like. So we'll go into the back, we undo this tab, I believe. Yep, push that through. My fingers are blocking it. And we can set the box aside, so we'll put that aside for now. And there's the case. As you can see, that's what the case looks like on the inside when you first got, and Apple as standard have this little tab feature that you can pull things away. There's nothing really, this is just a bit of plastic just to keep it in shape. So what I'll do is I'll take the red smart cover off my iPad that I've currently got on it, and we'll put that in the background that you can maybe see and compare later on. We'll slide the iPad in as so. This is where I always have difficulty with cases. I'm not exactly the best at putting them on. There, that's firmly in. As you can see, we'll give you a tour of it with it on now. Now, this is obviously designed for the iPad 3, so it's slightly larger on the iPad 3, so this one is going to move around ever so slightly. But as you can see, it does pretty much sit in line with the pin dock connector. On the back here, if we close the front of it, you have got the sound. On the side, we've got the volume rocker there, and you've also got the mute or the rotation lock. You've got the camera, which you can still see there, and you've also got the lock feature. And then on top you've got the microphone slot and the headphone jack. And then if we were to open up the device, just to make sure the smart feature is working, it does turn on, however upside down, because the rotation wasn't locked. So, first impressions of the feel of the device. It feels quite plasticky, I must say. For an Apple product, it was about £35, I believe, from the Apple Store. So I didn't really expect a great deal from it. However, it will protect some degree of protection to the back of my iPad, which is the main concern, as scratches really do start to frustrate me all the time. The inside is a bit standard. Again, it's just like the inside of even this leather one here. I'll just put the leather one over the top of my iPad is currently. The leather one's got like the feel of the same here, but on the outside it's got the leather case. I believe you can get this in the leather, but I'm not too sure. So I'll put a link down below if you can actually get this in the leather or not. This is just off the top of my head. It's more of a spontaneous video really. I didn't really expect to be purchasing this, but I thought why not. So we've got the case there in the front. It is a bit loose again, as I do mention. The iPad 3 is meant to be ever so slightly wider, or the 2S, or whatever you really want to call it, but I would call it a 3. This might cause a few problems for people trying to get off, because there is no definitive gap on this one. As you can see, that's pretty clean to the side there, so you're going to have to try and get like a fingernail underneath it, like as if we were to compare it to the iPad 2 with just the other one on, just so we can get a clearer indication of what it's really like. Set this case aside, put the original one back on. That's the iPad 2 with the original case on. Obviously on the side perspective, you have got a clean gap for you just to be able to flick your finger on really simply there. So I don't know if I'd class that as a positive or a negative for the new case, because equally it's not going to fly up and you're not going to lose that precious battery life that you will be looking forward to on your iPad but equally, if you can't get your finger on it as easily, and maybe it is just because I've got the iPad 2 and not the iPad 3, but because I can't get my finger on it easily, it might start to frustrate me over a bit of time. So we'll cover that in the review when we do cover the review. But my first initial impressions of this case isn't bad for the price. Maybe there will be a few better cases to come out in due course, which cover the back and have a nice little soft feel to the front. And maybe for pricing perspective, we are paying for the Apple logo. Well, without doubt, we are paying for the Apple logo right there. But it's not a bad product. I'm glad we've got it. We've got it to review. We've got it to play around with, see what we prefer on the iPad. And maybe I might stick back to this black old case with my leather soft feel. I might rotate. Who knows? Who knows what happens in the future? Just to let you know that we will be putting a review up within the next week of this. Hopefully we're just going to get some downtime with it, see if it does flick them down, cover all the ins and outs, see how much protection it does provide for it, see how hard it is. For example, if you were to have keys in your pocket, would it scratch the actual polythene and the rubber, or would it just be fine? So we'll cover all of these in the review. But for now, I'd just like to say thank you for watching. This was Dan, aka Dan Munstar, again from Bloom Corp. We'll be putting so many more videos coming up in the summer. We have just pre-ordered the Galaxy Nexus 7, so we'll be getting that obviously when it does get shipped to the UK, and we'll be covering that on an unboxing, a review, comparison, many platforms basically of everything you miss there. If you go to our website www.bloomcorp.com, and if you drop us a comment on the Nexus video to say what you want to see covered in the video of what you may say. For example, you want us to compare it to the iPad, where we can do, even though they are in a different ball game completely, and I do accept that. It might be questions between whether people want to pay the £400 or whether they want to pay the £169 is what it came out of in the UK with delivery. Again, just to end this video now, again this was Dan, aka Dan Munstar for Bloom Corp. Subscribe above, like the video, rate it, do whatever you want to think, comment down below. Again, just want to say peace out and close this video now.